What's good? What's good, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. Just want to make sure that we are jumping on the charts together, understanding what's needed to be traded for this week. Also, answer any and all questions that you guys may have leading into this week, so that way everybody can become profitable, understand what's going to be traded, the most high probable trade setups at that. And I also want to see if there's any opportunities that we could place all together while we are actually on this call. So again, everybody, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I know I did. I was able to kind of like just relax, chill for a little bit. It's always good. It's always good at times for us to kind of like relax, I guess. Take some time for yourself. Don't think about the charts. Don't think about trading. Don't think about anything else except for just getting your mind right. So I was able to do that this weekend. Hopefully everyone else was able to do something that they enjoyed as well. I'm over here just looking at AU because there might be a trading opportunity the moment I jumped onto here. So we'll talk about this. We'll obviously talk about some other charts, some other markets, things that you guys would like to take a look at as well. It's very important that I speak on relevance, things that are going to actually help you progress and become better as far as traders is concerned. So I want to make sure that everyone is leaving these sessions and these calls with some type of value and education and things that are obviously going to help them become a lot more profitable and I would say financially free in the Forex market. So I am going to be taking a look at some charts, things that I like to look at, some of my favorite markets. But if there is any specific charts and any markets you guys would like for me to take a look at, feel free to let me know. I'll see if by the end of the session, if we have some time, I'll make sure that I go over those. I'm probably going to go over the markets you guys already want to see anyway. So you guys will be able to see that regardless. But yeah, good morning, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I'm going to get started on marking up some of these charts to really understand what we have. So again, if there's any questions that you guys have, I am taking a look at the chat below, so I will be able to answer any and all questions for you. If there's any, again, specific markets, also let me know, and I'll be able to take a look at that as soon as we're done here. So again, good morning, everybody. Let's get started. All right, so I'm going to go over to gold real quick. Gold is one of my one of my favorite markets to trade. I do think that there is probably now at this case or leading into New York session, there I do believe is going to be a trade or two trade setups that we can actually look at before doing anything else. I'm gonna have to shut my office window here in a second, just so that way you guys don't hear the New York background. But yeah, I am looking at a few things here with gold. Real quick, this is actually, we'll mark this up in total so that way we understand the full essence and everything that this market has to offer. So the one thing I'm looking at with gold, obviously, is that we were very much, you can still say that we're very much still considered in a bullish market. From these lows to these highs, just like we always say on every session, or how we've been looking at gold during the sessions, it's been very much bullish. But there's a few factors that you can see that are causing this or that could show us that this may not be bullish anymore, or this could be just a simple correction. But if we look left to get right, there's a few things that we need to take into note. So if I look left, we can see that the market came to a level of structure. Now, this would be the entire zone. I just don't like my zones that big. This being resistance, this obviously being a high point. Obviously, you can see the structure being here, connected with this candle or the wick of it. The market tried to break above and came right back into that price zone. And you can see the levels of respect each time. So this is in fact considered a PRZ. So let's write that down. Let me put that there. Let me actually see how this looks on the weekly. It might look it actually looks a hell of a lot better. So on the weekly, I mean, you can see it even more clear, right? We are in fact at a level of significant structure, resistance, nothing confusing. So I'm just going to put PRZ. And that stands for potential reversal. Oop, can't spell today. Reversal zone. I need to put my contacts in. So potential reversal zone. Good morning. What's up, Scott? I appreciate you being on. Just going to go over gold really quick because obviously I like to start off with gold. It's my favorite market to trade. So I do want to see what this gives us. And obviously looking at gold will give us a strong sense of what the other US cross pairs are going to be doing, not just for today, but for the remainder of the week. Yes, we definitely can look at the DXY, which will probably be, you know, in some cases for some people might be better than gold. But I don't personally trade DXY, and I can get a lot of understanding just from this market as well. So We are right now at this, or we were at this area of potential reversal zone. Now, the reason why it's called potential is because nothing within the market we know is 100%. But when we get to these price points, these levels of price, right, we need to identify the actions that proceed within them, right? This is called price action trading. So you're going to identify the most relevant level of price, no matter what strategy you use, whether it's smart money concepts and order blocks and supply and demand. Everything is going to revolve, excuse me, around these price points. And if you find an entry, where is that entry mostly found? At a level of price. So all I'm doing is trying to find the most relevant point, or the relevant price, and then the actions that proceed within them, because it'll paint a bigger picture. It'll show us exactly what's going to happen. So being on the weekly and we're at a potential reversal zone, we need to now turn this into not a PRZ, just a reversal zone. No potential, we got to make sure. So what are some actions that I can see from this level of structure? Well, not just the fact that we're back at a level of resistance, but look at the character, or the candlestick, right? The characteristics of this candlestick is screaming bearish market, that sellers are starting to come in and buyers are no longer welcome. The one thing I always tell you guys is this: wicks equal rejection. So one thing I'm looking at is the wick of this candle, and not just the idea that it is a bearish engulfing candle, just the fact that this wick to the upside is showing us that buyers were trying and they completely failed. So with this bearish engulfing candle with a wick to the upside showing us that the market is obviously rejecting that level of resistance, we now need to use other time frames to give us stronger confirmation, to really show us, in fact, that, okay, well, this is a level of resistance. We can see on the weekly it's being respected, but we need other time frames to tell us the same. So we're kind of getting that idea even here. Now, you really can't see it, but this is in fact a double top, right? Even though it did kind of break above that point, it's still going to be considered a double top because we have met a level of resistance. I'll just draw it out here. We have met this level of resistance. We have tried to push lower and it couldn't. And it came right back to that price point. And then it came back to ask itself, do I in fact want to break market structure? Being the last previous low, this support should be respected in order for us to get confirmations that buyers are still within the market. We didn't get that. We actually broke below that level of structure. Let me just draw it out here. We broke that level of structure, and the market is telling us that sellers have been confirmed. Now, we understand that Friday was NFP, so we did get a lot of action, and NFP was the catalyst, the cause and effect on breaking this level of structure. You're never going to get a weak break of structure. It's always going to be strong and significant, and we had that. So we'll draw this up. Let me get rid of everything here real quick. So we were able to, in fact, break below that middle point of your double bottom, or your double top rather. Again, in order for a double top to be valid, this point here needs to be broken. That last previous low, or the higher low rather, now turns into a different, the whole market changes, right? Because now you're breaking that level of structure. You're not creating higher highs and higher lows anymore. Now we're probably going to start creating lower highs and lower lows. So since we see the break of, you can consider that the neckline of your double top. When we scale down to smaller time frames, we'll get a little bit more information. Now, all I'm doing is going from time frame to time frame to gather up as much information and knowledge, so that way I have the idea of my next potential trade setup. So I forgot exactly what I had on the 4 hour, but if I'm correct, it was something like this. There we go. Yeah. So on the 4 hour, I did in fact have this initial trend line. Now, I think I had a lot more like trend lines just to like see where in fact it was more perfect, and I came up with this, right? Because we can see the initial respect here: base, secondary, trigger, the third touch of your trend line, which confirms and validates that this trend line is in fact strong and should be considered or used in your analysis. Because what happened, we had respect at these 3 points of our trend line. Now I'm on the 4 hour time frame. You see, we went from the weekly, we gathered a lot of great information from there. The daily, we understood that there is a double top and the break of that double top. And now in the 4 hour, we're also getting further confirmation by stating that this trend line here is being broken. When you have a break of a trend line, break that word down. Trading is as easy as we want to make it, or we can make it as difficult as we want as well. Trend line. It is simply a line showing us the trend, the direction of the current market. And if in fact it reaches these points, such as let's say here, and then you can see another respect here. Let's say this wasn't broken and that level of or that trend line was respected. You could look for entries off of that. Or when these points are then broken, as you can see here, considered a breakout. Breakout of our trend line. I see that. That's telling me, okay, well, buyers are definitely not in this market anymore. They're without a doubt weaker. Sellers are now taking over, and we should be looking for any potential sell entries. So all I'm going to do now, since I broke this down, right, we went from the weekly now to the 4-hour to gather a lot of information. My analysis right now is that gold will continue to be bearish, especially since Friday NFP, when it came out, the US dollar came out extremely strong. So that means that gold should be selling off pretty heavily from here. So we can't just sell at this low point because everybody's like, okay, well, all right, Jay, you say it's a sell. Where would you sell from? I don't care about any of this analysis. Where would you sell from? Good question. Let me answer that for you, right? Because I know everybody wants to know entries, but you can't get an entry without doing this type of analysis and this type of work. So we have an understanding that gold will most likely continue to be bearish. But again, we're not going to sell at a low point. That's not what we do as far as investing and trading is concerned. What we can do is understand, well, if this is going to sell, where will it sell from again? So right now, I understand also that we are very much in its impulsive phase. There's only two phases that the market's going to do. Impulse, correct, or obviously in a market like that, a bullish market, impulse, and then a bearish correction. So with me seeing that this market is in its impulsive phase, I could probably dictate and understand where this will stop impulsing and most likely start to correct, giving us the idea or a better entry for sells, because we need a correction. We need this market to push up just a little bit higher so that way our trade, our risk to reward is much better. Because imagine selling from here and your stop loss being all the way up there. That's crazy. But if we allow this market to push up a little bit higher, then we'll be able to have better risk to reward. Now, how would I be able to identify when a correction or an impulse is done with and a new or a correction is now starting? So the impulse is over. I believe that this market will start to correct, meaning that not a sell, it might buy into a specific area where I'm looking to then sell. All you need to do is look left to get right. So all I'm going to do here is draw this level of structure. You can see that this was in fact a structure point. If I even make my zone a little bit bigger, you can see it like really connecting perfectly with the previous structure there, right? So we have a break above, and you can see the market came right back down to this price point. That's important. Why? Because if the market has crashed lower, it already broke a trend line, it's broken a level of structure, it doesn't have enough energy, doesn't have enough momentum to then, especially on a Monday, to break completely through that. It needs to gather its energy. It needs to get more sellers, more money and momentum to then have the power and strength to break through this level of structure. So let's write this down really quick. We're just going to put structure that may cause a bullish correction. Not a bullish move, not a bullish trade or a bullish reversal. All I'm looking for is this impulse is now over. This may now continue to my sell points. So where would I look to sell? Where are my entry points? You guys could probably see it already on here. My structure point right here is important. Why? Because the level or that market was obviously respecting that as resistance and then support until it was neither, or because obviously the support has been broken. But this can now be used as a level of newfound resistance. So level of newfound resistance. What that means is, well, I mean, very much the context of what the words are. It's our new resistance. Instead of being previous support, we can now identify any potential sells that come from this area, right? So let's say the market does, in fact, let me actually just draw this out with the little ghost feed thing. Where is it? There's this little tool that, there we go. Let's say the market does this. Comes right back to that structure point. Actually, I'll draw it a little bit better so that way you guys understand exactly what I'm looking at. So let's say this market does this. It starts to correct, and it reaches back into my structure points and also my trend line, right? Those are going to be two deciding factors of whether or not I'll be looking for an entry from here. Now, there's also one other tool that we should use, and it is considered our Fibonacci retracement tool. So we go from swing high to swing low, and now we're going to get a lot more information, right? So what we can see is break of our trend line, the break of our structure. What used to be support is going to be a new level of resistance. With that level of resistance, we have a lot of confluence in that area. What forms of confluence? We have not just the structure, we have the trend line. The trend line is going right through that structure point and can be used as a level of dynamic resistance. So if I get rid of the fib really quick, what that means is not only are you looking at the structure to be respected as resistance, you're also going to be looking at this trend line to be respected as resistance. And you're probably going to want to identify that when they meet together, right? Just so that way you guys can see that. I know the market is not there yet, and I'm not looking at this specific spot. I'm giving you guys like the visual, the educated idea of where you should be looking for your entries, where everything comes together, where everything meshes. When you have confluence meetings such as your trend line and your structure, and then when we use another deciding factor, something that could be used as another level of resistance, your fib, what do we have? We have the 61.8 fib ratio within that price point, right? What does that mean? What that means is this is a very strong sell zone. Why? Because all the confluence that we're getting is literally pointing in this area here. The trend line, the structure, the fib. What is going to be my last needed confirmation for me to identify a strong sell, or i.e. a entry from here? The candlesticks, right? When we get to this point, we'll identify the behavior of the candlesticks if it ever reaches that point, because I could look at this right now, say he's going to sell from there and it sells from here. You know what I mean? The market will do whatever it wants, but we as retail traders must identify the best and most high probable areas in trade setup. So I'll change this to sell kill zone. So what that means is I do believe that not only will gold continue to sell, but the US dollar itself will continue to gain strength, and markets like GU and EU will continue to sell as well. But this is just to get it started off with, just to get everybody into the session. I see a lot more people have joined since I was going over this. So welcome everybody. Good morning. Hopefully everybody had an amazing weekend. If you guys have any questions, if you don't understand anything I just did, if you need me to go back and reiterate some stuff, feel free to let me know in the chat below. I am taking a look, so I will be able to answer any and all questions that you guys may have. If there's any specific markets you would like for me to take a look at right now, go ahead, let me know. I'll definitely take a look at that. I just always like to jump onto gold. It is my favorite market to trade, and obviously I know a lot of you guys like it as well. So just want to make sure I start off with something that's going to be relevant and profitable for you guys. I think it's a really good idea. And also, if you are a part of our Discord, I might have a small, I wouldn't say small, but I might have a pretty decent buy setup heading here, because we are looking at this correction to possibly be starting. And if we have that correction, this coming back, I mean, on a smaller time frame, is coming back to, I mean, you can see here, break above and respect, right? Not perfectly, but you can see even on a smaller time frame, if that correction is starting, there might be a counter trend trade, if you will, because I'm looking for potential buys in a seller's market. But if we can, right, if we can buy from this low, and we are not buying this yet, but if we can in fact buy from here leading into our sell kill zone, why not, right? So I am taking a look at this in both perspectives, but the higher probability trade setup is obviously that sell idea up there. But if there is a buy signal, if there is a buy setup, I will make sure that I put that out in the Discord for you guys, so that way you all take advantage of it. And for legacy students, I have about like 4 or 5 trade setups. If they fruition for today, obviously I'll make sure that I share those with you guys, and I'll share a signal with the free Discord. So yeah, any questions, any markets you guys want to take a look at? We got a lot of people on, but no questions. This is your time. Remember, this is actual education, actual value. You're not going to get this type of anything from anywhere else but here. I'm not saying that because it's my stream. No, I've watched a lot of other streamers that made me make this decision on coming onto the lives and really helping. So ask questions. Let me know what you guys need help with, because everything that you get here can be translated into your own trading. Actually, just to let you guys see an idea, what was it, GBP CAD? Yeah, look at this. This was a trade from Friday, right before, and this was on our live session. So you guys can go back into our into my last video, my last live, and towards the end we were looking at this. So I just want you guys to see, because GBP CAD has our trend line, our structure, and our fib, and look at our entry based off of just simple analysis. Perfect respect on the third touch of your trend line, perfect respect of your level of structure here, and a perfect respect of that 61.8 fib ratio. We were able to place our trade there, and you can see exactly how that went. Instantly during the session, I didn't even see it happen. It shot down and hit our take profit for 200 pips. The reason why I'm mentioning that is if you look at GBP CAD right now, just get that visual of the structure, the fib, the trend line, how it is currently marked up. And we'll come back to this because there's another trade setup happening with this as well. If you look at this and we go look at gold, that almost, if I add a trend line actually, that almost looks identical to that trade setup on GCAD. Now, I'm only adding a trend line just so that way it almost looks like GCAD. No, this is not an accurate trend line, so I won't be using that for my analysis. But I'm going to draw it here because it kind of correlates with everything that we're talking about, right? If anything, this can actually be the touch of the second or the start of a trend line. But if we look at this, this is almost identical to GBP CAD. And these are two completely different markets. They're not correlated, but the analysis, right? Everything, how we marked it up from start to finish is the same thing. Look at this on GCAD, right? So we must be able to understand the tools that we have to use and how to use them to find high probable trade setups. And we're gonna do the same thing literally right here on GCAD, nothing different. But it doesn't seem like we got any questions or anything in the chat. All right, good morning, everybody. Everybody just silent this morning. Good morning, good Monday. Wake up, everybody. It's Money Making Monday. We got to make money this week. This is the best place to be. So what's good? Let me hear from you guys. Let me see if you guys have any questions, see if you guys need anything to be taught. Again, I want to make sure I'm speaking on some relevance. But I'm going to get rid of this, but we're going to keep the same analysis. We're not, the only thing I am going to move is this up here because we no longer need that analysis. That's not giving us anything as of yet. But if I take this and I take this level of structure and put it right here, again, it's basically the same thing that we're looking at right here, right? I can see that this was a previous level of support, and it ended up being a level of newfound resistance. That's important because now we can identify the same thing here. That's important because why? This was our last level of previous structure. So we're going to put this previous support, newfound resistance. Good morning, fam. What's good, John Summers? I appreciate you for being on, man. All right, so this is our newfound level of resistance. Nothing different. I'm not switching up any of my analysis. The only thing was I took this from here, so that way it is literally the same thing on this. What am I going to be looking for, right? You guys can already see it. I see the third touch of that trend line. This could be the fourth touch and a level of respect on that trend line. The market can also not just respect that trend line, it can come back and actually respect that level of structure at the same time, right? And then you could add your fib because we can see that this market is in fact correcting. So the impulsive phase is over and we can see the correction starting. So this right here would be considered our sell kill zone. The reason why my zone is that big is because now what I'm looking at is a fib ratio, either one, the 50 or the 61.8. I don't care which one it is. There's not a specific fib ratio that I'm ever trying to look at and identify or care for the most. They are all relevant. They are all important. So I use all of them. So this will be considered our sell kill zone. What's up? What's up, guys? I appreciate you guys being on. Any other confluence you would look for? Literally everything I'm showing you here. Like, there's nothing different. If I don't show it, then I'm obviously not looking for it, right? If I'm showing it to you here, that is what I'm using. If you don't see anything else, it's because I'm not using it, right? We have to understand that trading is extremely simple. I wouldn't say extremely simple. Let me rephrase that. We can make this very simple, or you guys could try to have systems that look like this, with all these crazy indicators and whatever. I don't even think I could add any more indicators, but let me see if I could do that. I can't even add any more. I got to buy the higher tier. But you don't need stuff like this and have the moving average cross over the rainbow and the mayonnaise touch the mustard and talk to leprechaun at the end of the rainbow to get the pot of gold. And then once you do that, no, you don't have to do any of that. All you're doing is identifying the most relevant level of price, the actions within them, and then your entry. That's it. That is all you're doing. What's up, philosopher? That's all you're doing. Don't make trading difficult. The moment you start trying to fucking learn all this crazy shit and all these, because I see it all the time. Like, people are just trying to sell you a new system rewrap, or an old system rewrapped in a new bow, a new name, and different colors. But you can make trading look exactly like this, right? We can have all these complicated tools and structure points and, you know, widgets and fucking indicators and make your chart look like that. You could do that if you want. That is not a good idea. We like to keep our trading simple. We're understanding simple concepts, right? Because everybody says smart money concepts. How about simple money concepts, where we know where the price is made moves from before, it's probably going to make moves from there again. That's exactly what the market does. You don't believe me? Just watch, right? Because you can see the market had made a move from here. When the market started selling, it immediately made a move from here to the upside for whatever reason. There's no reason for that market to just say, you know what, I'm going to buy from that area. But you know what, if I ever come back to here, I'm going to show another form of action. What's another form of action? The idea that this market had broke lower. What is the other form of action? The fact that it came back to respect that price point. Break, retest. Can you add the same tools that we use down here to get the same idea? Absolutely. Nothing different. Make it very easy. Once we start trying to understand Elliott wave theory with Wyckoff and then quarter theory all mixed together, you're adding too much to the ingredients or to your you know, your recipe, if you will, for an entry where you're going to be too confused. Keep it simple. Understand that you don't need a bunch of indicators and so much in your chart to get strong analysis. The majority of the time when I share my analysis and I mark up my charts, everybody's like, why do you not have it marked up? Why do you only have fib, trend line structure? Because I understand the overall market. And I also understand that nothing over here is going to make me money. So that's not relevant to me. I'm focused on two things. Understanding the direction of the market, whether it's buying or selling, and where am I going to buy and sell from? That's it. I'm not trying to say, well, is this bullish, is this bearish? And then I got, no, you can see that this is currently bearish. 50% of your work there is done because you know that this market, well, I wouldn't say no, because it could do whatever it wants, but we can visually see. You don't need an indicator. You don't need to even be extremely smart at that, right? You could just use common sense to say, well, this is very bearish. We can see that this is selling. Where am I going to sell from? Not, okay, well, this is selling, I'm going to look for buys. No. 50% of your work is done once you understand the direction and the true trend. We now know that this is bearish. 50% of my work is done, and all I'm going to now do is identify the best relevant area of price for me to then enter from. No confirmation or no straight like crazy, you know, guru strategy. What kind of strategy is it? I said it, price action. Price action trading. This isn't some guru method. This is not something that I promise. You're on YouTube learning this for free. Why? Because there's so, I mean, if you go on YouTube right now and you type in price action, there's literal courses online, literal courses on price action and how to do this on YouTube. Like, if you guys use your resources, you Google a little bit, you go on YouTube and you try to find these things, it's right there for you. Nothing different. This is not a guru strategy. I'm not doing anything different than any other price action trader. There might be some differences, but we'll all come up with the same idea for the majority of the time, right? So this is just simple price action trading. I'm using, break that down. Again, we can make this extremely difficult, or we can make trading really, really easy. Price, right? So price in price action equals exactly that. Support and resistance. Or an order block, because there's no such thing as an order block. An order block is just a level of structure. It's just a fancier way to, you know, sell a new concept to people. And then you have supply and demand. Isn't supply and demand basically the same as support and resistance? These are all the same terminologies. It might be, used a little bit differently. You might find them differently. But what is it at the end of the day? Price. It is a level of price that the market is using, right? Only price action. Do you see anything else? You know what I mean? Like, do you see me doing anything else? I'm not, you don't see any indicators. You don't see me speaking about anything else. So yes, only price action, right? Because now price, again, support, resistance, order block, supply, demand, all the same, because it's all revolving around a specific level of importance, price, relevance, price, and then actions, price, action, trading. What is actions? Candles, break or respect of structure, confluence being fibs, trend lines, any indicators that you guys may use. Like, I don't know if you guys use RSI, but I personally don't. So like, those are going to be your actions at a level of significant structure, right? When you have price and then actions, you have a trade. No indicators or candle figure. Do you see any indicators on my chart? This is what I mean about common sense, my guy. Common sense. Do you see any indicators on my chart? Or candle figure? So I don't, this is the one thing I need everybody to understand. And this is not to sound rude, this is just going to help you guys save a lot of time. There's no specific anything that anybody fucking uses. If you're like, well, I only use bearish engulfing candles or bullish engulfing candles, you obviously are using just one specific thing and missing so many other opportunities. So no, I don't look for anything specific. I use everything and every clue that's left behind. What time frame do you use price action? Did you not just see me do it on all time frames? You have to use all time frames. You're not just going to say, well, price action is only supposed to be used on the 5-minute and then indicators on the daily. Common sense. Common sense. All time frames you mark up. All time frames you mark up. You are not just going to go on the 1 hour and say, well, that's a sell. No, go on a higher time frame to dictate and see that a little bit further and why, right? So all time frames must be used for price action, or you could use price action on any and all time frame and on any and all market, whether it's stocks, options, binary. I don't really like price action for binary, but I see people use it. So you're using structure, or you're using price action on every time frame, right? You must use it on every time frame because that's going to dictate the direction of the market. On the higher time frame, you're going to be able to see the true trend, see if you're in any PRZ zones, which is potential reversal zones. You're going to be able to see the momentum, and then when you scale down to the smaller time frames, such as the 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, then you'll be able to get finer detail because you can't see this on the weekly, can you? You can't see those smaller, finer, detailed moves or your entries on the weekly or the daily. But what you can get from this is, oh shit, this is selling. This is very much in a bearish market. Like if I look at this overall, this is in a bearish market. So the higher probability setup is in the sells. Why? Because that's where the money is going. And then you start scaling down to smaller time frames to confirm that idea. So that's it. Nothing complicated. So once you start trying to make trading hard, that's when it will be difficult. But once you start saying, well, what I could do on the 1 minute, I could do on the 4 hour. What I could do on the weekly, I could do on the 30-minute. You have to be able to use each time frame to give you the strongest confluence. Do you use it on short time frame? I use it. What did I just say? Common sense. I've said it multiple times. Every time frame. Let me get my mic closer. Every time frame. You know what I mean? You have to use it on every single time frame. You see me on the 4, you just saw me go from each time frame, from the weekly, daily, 4 hour, one, every time frame. If you only use price action on the longer time frame, you're probably missing something because that should be also used on smaller time frames. There is so much rumors on short time frame. Well, fuck rumors, because we literally got this trade set up Friday. It took us literally 2 seconds to get it. And all we did was jump onto, we stood on the 1 hour. This was our entry from Friday. This is no joke. You guys can go back into the last live in my YouTube and you can see it. Right? There's so much rumors on short time frame. What is the rumor? Because you shouldn't be using small time frames for analysis. You're not using small time frames. Like when I see people trade US30 on the 1 minute and the 5 minute, and they only trade like a candle for 15 seconds, that clearly shows that it's very hard for them to understand what's going to be happening on a higher time frame because they're not getting the overall picture. The smaller time frames are supposed to be used for finer work, for finer detail. You're not going to go onto the 5 minute, like you're not going to go to the 5 minute time frame here and come to me and say, this is a significant level of support. This can't be broken. This is strong because it's the 5 minute. No, it's not. If that's what you're considering, then yeah, you're not going to go into a small time frame and consider the 1 minute, the 5 minute, even the 15 minute, even the 1 hour as a, go to a structure point and be like, that's strong. It's going to reverse from here. It can't be broken. The higher the time frame, the stronger your confluence, the stronger that structure may be, stronger that trend line and fib ratio may be, but you're not going to get anything significant off of, smaller time frames as, structure or anything strong like that. Please, Euro USD, what is your question with Euro USD? Give me a market and a question with that. So once you give me a question, I'll take a look at Euro USD. Can I take a look at Euro JPY? Again, same thing. What questions do you have with these markets? What is that you would like to identify? What are you confused on? I'm not just going to jump onto a chart and speak on something that has no relevance to what you're trying to learn and accomplish. So let me know what it is you would like to identify with Euro USD and what you would like to identify with Euro JPY, and I will go ahead and do that. But again, I want to make sure I'm speaking on relevance. Don't just give me charts and be like, yo, Euro USD. Let me know what you need with it. Because again, relevance. And I'm gonna say this, and this is not to sound disrespectful. I know coming from New York, everything I say sounds really wild and disrespectful. So I apologize in advance. But you guys are worried about the wrong shit. Your question shouldn't be, can you check Euro USD because you want to see whether it's a buy or sell? Because whether it's a buy or sell, like right now, GBP CAD is a sell. But are we going to sell that right now? No. Your question should be, what do I look for? What tools should I use? Things in that nature that are really going to help you, because I could look at these markets and you still leave confused. So be very, very specific on the questions that you ask so that way you get the needed knowledge that you rightfully deserve. Just being real. This is y'all time. I'm helping y'all out, so you let me know what you needed to find out with that. Sup, bro? Always excellent content. My man Pippin Nick. I appreciate that, bro. I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to grow a community based off of value, transparency, and profits. We have been growing pretty exponentially. I do owe it to every last one of you guys, especially the people who just continue to be on these calls. I see a lot of return viewers. That just means that you guys are, in fact, getting a lot of value, and these streams are helping. So it really does make me happy to see that I'm impacting people's lives in a positive manner, especially with something like this when you can make money. You know what I mean? Like on Friday with GCAD on here, I actually had a few people send me their profits on this. I'm like, yo, that's motivating. You know what I mean? Because if I could just jump onto a call and really help you guys understand what's needed and also help you guys make money, then I'm accomplishing one of my dreams, one of my goals. And one of my goals is to just educate the knowledge that I have and pass it down to others, because this has really helped me live a financially free life. Real talk, just real testament. I used to be broke, like super broke. Didn't, in honesty, after I left the military, I didn't really have a plan. I didn't really understand what I was going to be doing. I'd probably be working a dead-end job. And this, trading Forex, just trading the markets, being able to grow a community and know people within the community has helped me set my life up and well beyond my son and his son and his son's son. You know what I'm saying? We are able to now thrive. And I want to be able to give that to everybody else with these sessions as well. What is a possibility Euro USD will turn into a bear market? What do you mean? Have you looked at it? Have you looked at Euro USD? What are the possibilities? What do you mean? That is a bear market. And I don't have to mark anything up. That is a bear market. Not the fact of what are the chances. Look at it, guys. Look at this shit. If you guys are asking me what are the chances of something being, you're not paying attention. You're not looking. You're not trying. And I'm not trying to sound rude, disrespectful, but it's shit like this that's going to help you go back to the drawing board and be like, shit, he's right. Let me fix that. I'm helping you understand your mistakes. If you can't see that it's already a bear market, you should be asking a way different question and understanding a little bit more of the basics. That's a bear market, not when and where that is. Look at NFP. NFP came out positive for the dollar. We had a bearish move. Look at it. I'll just draw one thing so that way everybody understands what Euro USD is doing. If you actually mark it up and try, you'll see a lot. I'll actually add another thing. Right? So you've answered your own question. Look at it. Let me see. Looking how I can use the fib tool to see if it's bearish on Euro JPY. If you have a markup, if you want to go ahead and mark up Euro JPY with how you would personally use your Fibonacci, send it up into my Discord. I'll take a look at it. I want to see your markup before I speak on Euro JPY. Amazing. Good job, mate. Keep it up. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. You said, what is the possibility of Euro USD on the daily? Don't worry about that. Look at it. Look at it. You're not looking at a specific time frame that's going to tell you whether it's bullish or bearish. Look at the overall understanding of what Euro USD and the dollar is doing. NFP came out positive for the dollar. You have a bearish reversal pattern that has been completed. Look at it. I was waiting for somebody to tell me. Head and shoulders pattern. It's a reversal pattern already. It's a sell. Look at it. You have to pay attention. You have to see these things. If you do not see this head and shoulders pattern, you might want to go back to the drawing board. Again, Fred, like these are things that you must know. If you can see the head and shoulders pattern, I was hoping somebody would mention it, but if you can see that, you've answered your own question. So you might have to go back to the drawing board and see things a little bit differently, because you're not just going to go into the daily and be like, well, is that bearish, bullish? Or well, I know I'm not on the daily now, but everything must be put together, not just something you see on the daily. If you go into the daily, all right, look left. Are you at a level of structure? If we go into higher time frames, can you see some actions at a level of price? You can see the wick of this candle being rejective, and also there is no wick to the downside on that candle alone, which clearly shows that sellers are in control. You could absolutely pay attention, or if you pay attention to what the clues are being left behind in the market, you'll be able to answer your own question. This being the biggest deciding factor, that head and shoulders pattern. You don't have to ask yourself anything. You don't have to ask anybody whether this is bullish or bearish. If you can see a bearish reversal pattern, you can see the neckline being broken, you can see these factors, call a spade, right? So in my opinion, Euro USD, very bearish. Wait for the test of the neckline. Exactly. My man Rome, what's good, baby? Off-topic question. What's a good trading app to use since MT4 is banned in the App Store? TradingView? What we're on right now, TradingView. I personally don't have any issues with that because I do have MT4 and MT5 on my phone, so I personally have not looked for any replacements. But TradingView, bro, nothing different. This is probably going to be your best bet to place or do some analysis. And if you're like, but what about, if I'm doing analysis on my phone and I want to take a trade while I'm out in public? Don't, because you should not be trading off your phone. You're not, everybody who wants to trade on their phone is not marking it up. They're just trying to eyeball it. So don't try to, make any entries or any executive decisions while you're trading off your phone. You want to make sure that you can see the bigger picture. You can navigate through time frames and navigate through all your tools seamlessly. You want to be able to see the entire chart so that way you could identify more than what you would see on a phone. But in my honest opinion, I truly don't know any other app that you would want to use other than TradingView, since MetaTrader 4 and 5 are not on the app stores anymore. So yeah, that's my honest opinion. Just use TradingView. A lot of and also you could do this. This is not to sound this. I hope this does not come off wrong, but this is something that I need everybody to listen to and really understand. You guys can answer your own questions, because if you just went and said similar apps to MT4, MT5 in Google, that will give you a way better app or answer rather. You know what I mean? Because one of the questions that stands out is somebody, what's a VPS? I just said copy and paste that into Google, and they're like, okay, yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? Just go to Google and ask Google, what are some other apps like MT4, MT5 that I can use? And I guarantee you'll get a plethora of options and tons of information. You guys have to do your own due diligence. And again, that's not to sound rude or disrespectful, but the reason why I say that is because if you truly show interest in something, such as you go and you take the time to go learn something on your own, you feed yourself that knowledge. I didn't have anybody teach me how to trade. I fed myself this knowledge. And this is why I've been able to retain the same thing from day one until 8 years, for almost 9 years at this point, right? Damn, yeah, about to be 9 years. So if you go ahead and you take the time to do your own due diligence research, and you'll retain that knowledge a lot more. And what you'll also do is you'll get more invested, not like money wise, but emotionally, physically invested into what you are doing. So my honest opinion, I personally don't know it, but Google it, bruh. Google it, because you will get a ton of information. I'm long on GBP USD, or Gbpjpy. If you're long on GJ, that's cool. You're long on GJ? All right. I haven't even seen what GJ... Why can I not spell right now? What in the... All right, yeah. If you're long on GU or GJ, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let me see what else we got. Let me actually go back to gold really quick. So I want to see... Okay, so... I might, and this is, I say this is stupid. I said it was stupid on GCAD last week, and GCAD hit 200 pips and like fucking instantly. I might go ahead, place a little risky trade. I want to see how this develops here in the next few. I want to see if we can get an initial buy from here to our sell zone. If I do actually, and no buys on it yet, I'm just identifying to see if there was something. But if we do get some type of respect from here, I'll just say potential counter trend trade move. Make this smaller. So all I'm doing right now is seeing if we can get some confirmation from this level where we currently are to get any type of bullish reaction, because if I can buy into the correction leading into our sell zone, then we have a double up. We have two trades, right? I'm trying to see if we can in fact get that idea where we can buy from here leading into our sell zone. So if in fact we do reach our sell zone and sells are happening, we could take profits from our buy and then place our sell. So we'd be able to get into both ways. So I'm just letting this develop really quick. I just wanted to come back onto gold, see what was initially happening with this, and then go from there. But yeah, somebody said Euro JPY too. What do you think? Like, you guys have to look at it. What do you think? It's breaking higher highs. It just broke a resistance and it just retested it. I mean, if you guys look, you'll be able to answer a lot of your own questions. I'm short on gold. All right, you could be short on gold. Hopefully you're in profits on that. I'm looking for some potential buys here coming soon. If we do, I'll be sure to put that in the Discord as well. If you're not a part of our Discord, I do share my analysis. I do share signals as well. If I have, like, my students, they usually get like 4 to 5 signals a day, depending on the market. If we do have a bunch of signals, like 4 or 5, I'll always go ahead and send one free signal for you guys in the Discord. Even if you're not a VIP student, I really make sure that I'm catering to the community. So if you're not a part of our Discord, make sure you go into the description below, grab the link to it, so that way you guys can be up to date and in the know-how if in fact I do go ahead and place a buy here on gold. If I don't place a buy because the analysis wasn't there, or the clues weren't left behind, the market didn't really give us anything, I'll go ahead and look for my sells up there. Always on time frame 1 or the H1. Who, me? Well, the only reason why I'm on the 1 hour time frame right now is because I've already done my analysis from the higher time frame on gold to the smaller time frame. I went from the weekly to the daily to the 4 hour, now to the 1 hour. Why I'm on the 1 hour right now? Because I can't see any high detailed work on the daily. I'm not going to be able to mark up trend lines or structure perfectly like I would on the daily or on the smaller time frames. Because look at this candle here. Right? That's just one giant candle. You're not going to be able to see too much or where you would like to enter until we go to the smaller time frame. Right? Because that candle, you didn't see the structure there, but you can see the structure here. Does that make sense? You can't even see the structure here. Doesn't look like there's anything. So the reason why I'm on the smaller time frame is because I'm looking for entries. Makes sense. Thanks for having the best live trading channel on YouTube. Donald Rogers, I appreciate that. Honestly, that definitely made me happy. I appreciate that because I'm trying my best to show value and give as much, education as I can. And if people notice that definitely makes me happy. So I appreciate that. There's a lot, doesn't seem like it, but there's a lot of hard work. You know what I mean? Being able to actually do this live with you guys, doing it every single day, obviously holding and running a trading business as I'm doing this. There's a lot that goes into it, but I'm glad that you guys are seeing it. It's really important for me. But yeah. You said always on time frame H1, but yeah, it's the reason why I'm on the smaller time frame is because I've already broken this down. I have a strong understanding of what the market is leaving behind. I'm already seeing the clues, so I don't have to be on the daily or the weekly and wait for anything. You know what I mean? I already have a strong understanding. The only time I'm going to go on a higher time frame is if I don't have any analysis on a market, and then I'm going to scale from the higher time frames to the lower time frames. And let me see if I even have any. Damn, I deleted all my analysis if I'm correct. AU. Damn, there was a market that I had that was marked up that I want to see if I could find, and we'll just go over it, break it down, so that way you can see the reasoning on why you go from the higher time frames to lower, because you're not just going to say 1 hour time frame, that's it. You've been killing it for a while, bro. Appreciate you, John. I just haven't pulled the trigger on, going live and expanding legacy to what I do believe it's going to be, especially right now with a lot of the things I have in the works for students and my company itself. I really want to make sure that I can actually, for one, it's important that people can trust you before they even, try to associate themselves with you. So if I'm putting out value, if I'm putting out transparency, be very honest, it's going to be very easy for somebody to say, okay, well, I like the way he teaches. I like the way he explains things. Whatever decisions I make moving forward, I would like to be with Jay. You know what I mean? That's one of the biggest reasons why I do this, because I think it's important that people can see the value, be able to see the realness behind things before just, like just blindly entering something with no true idea and no confidence, right? I want everybody to have confidence with their trading, and I want people to have confidence with, if you do associate yourself with me, that you're going to get the best of the best. Like, that's really important for me. Jay doesn't muck around when we on here. Some other traders don't explain things. No, they don't. They absolutely don't. And this is not to talk shit to anybody, because if I really look at it, those traders who are going on live, they're actually doing a lot, right? They're not teaching, they're not showing you anything, they're not educating, but what they are doing is providing a resource for people to use in a community, and also they do place live trades on their sessions. Obviously, we place live trades on here when they do come about, but the biggest thing with this session is it's not about trades, it's about creating traders. It's about making you self-sufficient, making sure that when you jump onto a chart, you're not like, is this a buy or a sell? You know immediately. This is where you're going to be able to get actual value, actual knowledge. Make it affordable, please. What do you mean? It is affordable. I send signals. I have a binary auto trader. I have a Forex auto trader. I do these sessions, and it's all $150 a month. You know what I mean? It's not, I'm not going to say company names, but it's not $400, $500, $600 a month where I've seen, or a $5,000 one-time fee where you're only going to get me, twice a month in a live session, or one-on-one, twice a month. Like, I wouldn't do that. So I make sure that everything is perfect for everybody. Yeah, you taught me not to blind trade. I used to do that. I did too. I used to, oh man, in the beginning, so in the very beginning, I think the first week, I even knew what Forex trading was. I found out what signals were, and I didn't know what a signal was. And so I was like, oh shit, they tell me exactly what to do, what to buy and trade. I didn't know what a lot size was. So, or how to adjust or make it. I didn't know what anything was. So I put a lot size, a standard. And I had 5 signals that day. Miraculously, all those signals hit with no drawdown. I was up like $7,000. I was like, oh, this is easy. So every time I got a signal, I wasn't looking at the charts. I wasn't trying to figure out why they took it. And I didn't try to understand lot sizes. So me trading blindly, not just with my entries, but even signals that I was receiving in the beginning, I burnt the entire account. I took a $500 account, got it all the way up to 12,000, and then lost it all in the very beginning. So that's why I was like, okay, I need to really learn this. I can't be blind trading. I got to understand everything. So that way I don't make that mistake again, because again, I was broke. I had just got out the army. I didn't have a job. I didn't know what I was going to be doing. So trading was the only thing I could do. And that was years, like 8 years ago at this point, now almost 9. You know what I mean? So I had to understand that you're not going to blind trade, because you easily lose money. But when you have a strong understanding, when you know what you're looking for, when you can break down the chart in a manner that makes sense, that's where the money is going to come from. And no longer are you going to be blind trading. You're going to feel confident with everything that you do. And obviously, confidence in trading boosts your profits. Why? Because if you're confident on your trade setup, you place bigger lot sizes. And obviously, bigger lot sizes equals more money. So definitely important for you guys to understand. Most traders don't really explain anything at all. They say a bunch of nothing. Yeah, I'm not going to say names, but that's exactly what made me jump onto these live sessions, because I do feel like when we gain more traction, all of those people, all their viewers will then be ours. And that's great because I want to actually teach. You can see that there's value here. So hopefully we get there. If you guys can, perfect segue. If you guys are in fact getting more value in education, you are seeing a lot of transparency, you are enjoying yourself, you are making profits, you can see this growing, please like this video. It definitely helps. Again, we right now are at 33 viewers. When I first started, I probably had 4 or 5. It's because of you guys that we are growing this in such an exponential rate. So if you guys can, please like the video. It definitely helps. I'm trying to grow this in a manner that's going to be profitable for everybody. So with that being said, I'm over here wasting you guys' time. I promise you I'm not. I've actually just been low-key like watching gold develop a bit. So what I'm going to do, and you guys do not have to do this. I'm going to scale down to a smaller time frame real quick. Okay. So you guys do not have to do this. I'm going to go ahead, and this is really risky because I personally do not like to counter trend trade, meaning I'm going against the initial bearish market. I'm going to place a risky buy, and I'm going to use a decent lot size. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm using something small. I'm going to place a buy here. Now, the stop loss is going to be pretty extensive because the way that I trade is I like to put my stop losses above or below the last previous structure or that last higher low. Right now we can see, I'll get rid of this really quick. We can see that this is the last low, and that's about 130 pips. Now, I might just keep it around 90 because I personally don't like that stop loss being that long. I usually try to have a personal stop loss of 50 and nothing more than that for the most part. But in this case, gold is a very volatile market, especially with how I do believe, and this is my honest opinion, I think gold is going to continue to crash. I think this is going to continue to sell. But since we have this strong impulsive move with little to no correction, we can see that the market has in fact started its initial move to the upside to start to correct and came right back down to the minor level of resistance that was here, right? Because you can see price, action. This was price. The action is the market broke above. The new action is we are retesting that point. So as I'm over here doing a lot, I'm over here looking for gold on my phone, but I'm going to be buying gold. There it is. All right, so if you guys would like, you guys could go ahead and place that trade. Again, it is risky, so I don't want anybody saying I'm going to place a standard with my $50 account. No, please use proper risk management. If you do not, your account will be fucked over because gold's a bitch sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, gold is a bitch sometimes. But yeah, I'm looking for potential, or not even, I've already placed my buys here on gold. My stop loss is about 90 pips, which is pretty significant. So if you guys understand what that means is you should not be using a giant lot size based on our stop loss. But our take profit, risk to reward is definitely in our favor. So we have a 400 pip take profit, could be a little bit more, but I'm going to ride it back up to that level of structure. And damn, I just looked down, I'm already slightly in blue. My broker has no spread, so, or raw spread rather. So that worked beautifully for me. All right, let me go back to the chat real quick, make sure that you guys are good. All right, perfect. Let me see real quick. Yup, and get you lost. You teach why we take it, and know how to fish for ourselves. Yeah, that's the whole essence. That's the whole point of everything that these sessions are for. That's me, but I'm plugging in with you daily and learning a lot. I'm absolutely for one, Brian Ruiz. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I'm always going to extend my gratitude to everybody, even if I got to be personal with it and be like, say your name and say thank you. I definitely appreciate it. This community has been growing exponentially, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys. Again, if you have not liked this video already, please do. It helps with the algorithm. And also, as my token of appreciation for you guys, not only do you guys get this signal, but if you are not a part of our Discord, go into the description below, join our Discord, where I'm sharing any and all analysis and obviously keeping you guys updated with our lives. So definitely appreciate it. And I'll keep this up for you guys just so that way you guys could take down the stop loss and the take profit. Again, if you guys do make any profits on this, if we win this trade, I have a section in my Discord where it says profits and review. If you can post your testimonials, even if it's a loss, so that way I know what I need to do better for you guys, let me know. It definitely helps, and I definitely want to make sure that we're impacting in a positive manner. How do you find him on Facebook? I'll show you. You just put Gbpjpy on Facebook, and that is me. Now, I actually thought that I had all my information in the description. I will fix that so that way you guys never lose track of me. But that's how you find me on Facebook. Gbpjpy. Like your confidence rather than sitting on the fence. Nah, man. Biggest risk in life is not taking one. right? So, and I have that tattooed on me. My mom wrote that to me on my birthday card when I was 8 years old. The biggest risk in life is not taking one. So I'll take the risk to see if I can make 400 pips against my, 90 pip stop loss. Oh, New York is waking up. So real quick, if anybody hears any craziness outside, I live in the middle of New York City where everything is wild and not wild and crazy. It's just really noisy. If anybody's been to New York City, you know it's noisy even at 3 in the morning. So yeah, I got my window open. So if you hear anything, I do apologize in advance. Let me see what else you guys got. I appreciate every last one of you guys too, because you guys are asking beautiful questions. You guys are in the comment section, just, making sure that you're interacting. We have grown to at least 42 viewers right now. So it's all because of you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I highly appreciate you all. But yeah, just for anybody who's jumping into the call right now, we have placed a buy on gold. I'm currently in small profits. Hopefully everyone else got a pretty decent entry and you guys will be ending up in profit shortly as well. But I do like the way that this trade is in fact setting up. Let me see if I can use one of my old tricks really quick to see. No, I can't. So what I was going to do is see if there was a, I forgot what I even called it, but there was a time where I would be using on any time frame, but I'm just looking on the smaller time frame to see if there was any Fibonacci extension correlation, but I currently don't see any, so I'll actually get rid of that. I just want to see if that could be used as further confluence and see if I could teach you something new, but I currently can't. But right now, gold is looking really good. Hopefully you guys are in some small profits on that. Gold, what you take, look, look at the damn chart. It's right there for you. I'm not telling you, you can see it. I'm doing all the work, do some work too. It's all right there. It's literally, I'm giving you the answer to the entire fucking test. GJ, already long, level 5.9. All right. If you're long on GJ, congratulations. Good. I hope you end up profitable on that. I don't like speaking on trades that you guys have personally entered, because if I go ahead and start speaking on it, let's say you're in a buy, I see a sell, then you're going to go and say, well, Jay says it's a sell. Let me go ahead and cancel my trade out. Next thing you know, a buy is a million pips and you're angry at me. Nah, if you're in a buy, if you're in a trade on anything, feel confident. You need to trust your analysis. That's one of the biggest things too, right? You have to be able to say, well, if I'm going to buy or sell on something, let me stick to my guns and not try to second guess it. Let me not get a second opinion from somebody else because they could throw me off. Trust your analysis. The psychological aspect within trading is very real. I know that we do get nervous, we do get scared because money can be lost and money can be made. We obviously want to make money and not lose anything, but you have to feel confident with your trade setup. So if you place a buy on your trade or a sell on your trade, only you know why. So feel confident on your trade setup, stay patient, let it develop, and see how it goes. Just prioritize your page. What do you mean? Like my description and everything here on YouTube? So I'll be honest with you guys. I have absolutely no idea how to market. I don't know how to scale my YouTube. I don't know how to do any of that. The description and everything is just, I don't have a team like a lot of these, other streamers. They actually have a team working with them. They have people who help them create their content, who create their, images and thumbnails. I do all that on my own. So as far as how to scale on YouTube, I have no idea. I'm just the guy who knows how to trade. So if anybody wants to throw me some nuggets and help me with that, I will absolutely appreciate it, because I could say that I could use some assistance on growing this YouTube. So if you guys have anything, definitely let me know. But yeah, any other questions, any other markets you guys want me to take a look at, feel free to let me know. I appreciate every last one of you guys for being on this morning. I can't tell you how happy I am and motivated I am to continue to do this, because we are growing. So thank you guys. Thank you. Favorited your page with notifications. My mans, I appreciate that. I'm also going to, instead of doing lives, I'm going to still be doing lives, but I'm also going to be doing some series where I'm looking at EAs, like free EAs that anybody could download. I'm not going to try to resell you something that you could download for free. But I will be doing a series where I'll be seeing if there is any profitable free EAs, because I know everybody's always talking about them. So I want to see if there is anything and really make a very detailed description of whether we should use this said free EA or any of them for that matter, and really give you guys that information as well. But there's going to be a few things I'm going to do, not just lives, but this YouTube channel will have a lot of value in the future as well. So that I never miss out and share it with the rest of the world. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. Dude, I know a bit of marketing. Yo, tough, help me out. Do you have a budget set for promo? So to be honest, I don't want to be those people that just start using like resources to grow and like those YouTube grow shit. I want to do it organically. So the marketing I'm doing is just simply on Facebook and Instagram. Just really, I'm only trying to attract the serious traders and people who are obviously going to take the trading serious. A lot of individuals, I've noticed when they jump onto these calls, the only thing I see is gold, buy, sell. What gold? Do gold? Like, that's all I see. I don't want those type of people in these calls. I want to only attract people who are going to ask genuine questions like you guys and who are going to actually take the knowledge that's given here and use it for themselves. Everyone else is just looking for entry now. Like, that's not this. So I want to market it in a way where it's going to only attract the right people. And I know that sounds rude, but I mean, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste anybody else's time. I want to make sure that the people who are going to be on these calls can benefit from them. So I have an idea, but if you can help me, I got you. Please, is Euro USD going? I was literally just saying that. Look at Euro USD. I explained on Euro USD already. I know you were here when I was saying it. So you already know Euro USD is a sell. I don't know why you guys don't understand that. Look at this. Is that buying or selling? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that this high point is higher than this point. You answered your own question, right? A freelancer budget will be easy scaling, but it takes scouting from scammers. What do you mean scouting from scammers? Like you get those please, is EU going to be bearish type comments when you do it like that, or like I'm trying to figure it out because I do want to scale, I do want to market, but I want to do it in the right way. I want to make it all organic. But yeah, let me see if there's anything else. Brian Ruiz from Lynn's stream. I've seen official Lynn's. That's kind of like one of the reasons why I wanted to start doing this, because it's like, and don't get me wrong, I think she's great. I think she's awesome. She definitely is knowledgeable in what she does. But it's, again, like, you're not getting any knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, she does give some great points, but like you're not leaving there with, feeling accomplished. You know what I mean? It's just it's a trade session, which is great, but it's also, you got to make sure that everybody, your viewers, are understanding exactly what's going on. So I try to do that with you guys. Let me see what else you guys got. Thanks for all the valuable information. Yeah, absolutely, never a problem. But yeah, any other questions, any other markets you guys want to take a look at? If not, we'll conclude for today, only because I got to jump onto our binary session. Well, not binary session. I got to trade binary for our students. I do have a copy trade system with binary, so that way when I place a trade, that trade is reflected directly into our students' accounts, so that way they can make profits as well. We actually didn't have a great week. Transparency, I'm never going to lie. We didn't have a great week with trading binary last week, so I'm going to make sure that I capitalize on this week. NFP week is usually really off. There's really not much opportunities, especially with binary, because of the lack of volatility up until the news is actually given. So I'm hoping that this week we go ahead and place a lot more profitable trades. I'm going to be doing that for the majority of the morning, and I'm also going to be trading binary. This is for any legacy students that's connected. I will be trading binary this morning, and I will also be trading binary in the evenings. So I'll be doing 2 trade sessions with binary Monday through Thursday, because obviously we can't trade, evening on Fridays. The market will be closed. So Monday through Thursday, I'll be trading binary in the morning and in the evening. And then Friday, right after our live session on here, I'll be doing binary right before the market closes for everybody. Will there be a link in the Discord or binary? Well, the link to our Discord is in the description below. But the binary sessions and the binary, that's specifically for legacy students. You won't be able to get there's no link to the session on that that you guys will be able to get. That's just strictly for legacy students. But I do have a plan where if I can get the delay, because there is a delay from this stream to you guys. So when I'm speaking, like everything I'm saying right now is coming to you 15 seconds later. So there is a delay, and everything with binary is about timing. Because if I say enter now and we have a 1-minute expiry and you get that entry 15 seconds later, that could throw your trade off an entry and you could become, you won't be profitable. So what I do plan on doing is if I can figure out how to minimize or even get rid of that delay, I do want to take the time out to actually trade live with you guys on Fridays right before the market closes. So that way not only students are getting that benefit, but also you guys as well. So if anybody can help me understand how to get rid of that stream, or that delay, I'll make sure that I stream binary with you guys as well. Let me see. Thank you for the gold signal currently in profit. My mans, yeah. I'm in some decent little profits as well. I did go ahead and use a pretty decent lot size. Now, I will say, if you get 20 to 30 pips, Actually, no, this is gold. What I'm talking about, this shit hits 20, 30 pips in no time. I will say, how many pips are we currently up right now? See, look at that. Fucking 24 pips already. I would say at least 50 pips, right? In fact, if you can get up to this point, if we get up to here, just move your stop loss to break even, because again, gold is very much in a bearish market. This is, in my opinion, I do believe that this is going to sell overall. But if we could, again, get that corrective buy leading into our sell, I'll go ahead and look for that. But if you guys get the opportunity to then put your stop loss to break even, or even in a little bit of profits, I would suggest that you guys do that. Now, I can't tell you exactly when and where to do that, because we don't know where the market is going to go. We don't even know if this is going to remain in profits, because obviously this could be like, fuck you and your buys, I'm out, and start selling. But I do think that if and when we get to this point here, break evens should be, or your stop loss should be moved to break even. So let's actually write that down. If Matt move stops to break even. Now I'm drawing this up because I will be sharing this analysis in the Discord, so that way everybody understands exactly what's needed. You guys understand or see the stop losses and take profits as well, and then you can also see the further analysis on what or where we're potentially looking for a kill zone. I think is it here? I might redo it just when we're done, just to make sure that that's actually what I'm looking at. But this would be the analysis fully on gold, the reasoning on why we're buying, and we're also doubling it up because we're looking for a sell zone up there. So we are counter trend trading into a sell zone. You said 1 a.m. here in Melbourne. Aussie catch on soon, peeps. Yo, my man Rome, I appreciate you always being on. I know the time difference is immense for you, but you've always been a real one. You've always been committed, so I appreciate you for being on, brother. I highly, highly appreciate you. Only way to get rid of the delay is either Zoom or Teams. What's Teams? I've never seen Teams before. Wait, so you're saying that I could broadcast on YouTube through Zoom, or only there's no delay if I just use Zoom and no YouTube? Because if I can get the delay gone, that'll be great. Team viewer. I think you mean team viewer. Damn, is that really the only way to get rid of the delay? That sucks. So I'll figure out something. I'll see how I can get everybody on our binary calls, because it's really important, again, that I show you guys the value. So that way, if you're like, yo, I want to trade binary with Jay, that you can see that trading binary is in fact profitable with us. So I'll figure out a way where I can actually start trading live binary with you guys as well. Just so that way you guys get, again, more value. Microsoft Teams. Okay, I'll see. I want to see, because I do have some computer savvy friends. Like, I'm not computer savvy at all. If they even have maybe some little tricks and tips to help the delay, but if not, I'll figure something out for us, so that way we can all trade binary. But again, good morning, everybody. We got a lot of people on today. I really appreciate you guys. We will be concluding here soon, but if there's any questions that you guys have, if anybody who just joined the stream and has any questions, feel free to let me know. I want to make sure that I'm ending this off giving you guys as much value and knowledge. I don't want people leaving with more questions than answers. I really want to make sure that you guys are learning. So if there's any questions that you guys have, if you are confused on anything, feel free to let me know, and I'll make sure that I help you to the best of my abilities. But let me just mark this down, so when I send it up to you guys in the Discord, you know exactly what's needed. There we go. Perfect. I might send it up to you guys like this on the 2 hour, so that way you guys can get a little bit more of a visual of the chart. But a lot of analysis was from the higher time frame. The entry was made off of the 1 hour time frame. I want to explain this really quick. You see how I didn't have to, I mean, I did go to the 5 minute, but I just wanted to see if there was anything else I could see, which I didn't. But you see how we entered a trade off of the 1 hour time frame, and we don't have to scale to the 1 minute, the 1 second to get that wick entry and be profitable. You're only basing your trades off of your analysis. You're not placing your trade based off of a time frame. That's a question I always get, is what time frame should I enter my chart, my entry off of, or my trade? You're not entering off of a time frame, a specific time frame. You're entering off of your analysis. Because I actually just saw somebody hit me up on Facebook and ask me, why did I enter off the 1 hour time frame? I'm not entering off the 1 hour time frame. I'm entering based off the analysis that I was able to find. So don't ever think that I'm placing trades based off of a time frame, and that you have to trade based off of a time frame. The only thing you really want to do is make sure that you're identifying the best area for your trade setup, and then entering when it's there as it develops as well. So in case anybody's wondering if I'm always entering off the 1 hour, no, I'm always entering based off of my analysis. Just want to clear that up as well. So you will have to share your screen on Zoom, but you are limited with participants. I have the full Zoom. I know how Zoom works. I have the full Zoom. I want to grow a YouTube channel, so I need to do all that here. You know what I mean? If I make it private Zoom calls, then it kind of defeats the purpose of trying to grow a channel. Because obviously what benefits you guys is going to help me too, right? I mean, it's advantageous on all ends. I grow a community on YouTube, giving a ton of value, tons of profits, tons of, everything. And then what ends up for me is I'll be able to scale my business and my YouTube a lot further, right? So advantageous on all ends. You guys get information, I get to scale my business and market a little bit better. But if I do that on Zoom and make it private, then all I'm doing is just more damage for myself than anything, because then my business doesn't grow, nothing is scaled up, nothing expands. So I have to figure out a way how to do it on YouTube, and also because YouTube's a really good way for the for the information to last. If I record it, then I got to send the recording out. Then I'd rather keep it very easy for everybody to have access to. But I'll figure out a way. I'll figure out how to actually do it. If there's not a way, then I'll just keep doing it for students. If I can't go around it, I will unfortunately not be able to trade binary with you guys, but we'll see how we could adjust and fix that. I think he meant for binary, Jay. Yeah, no, I know. But for binary, it's the same thing. I want to do binary here, because if I just do it on private sessions, it kind of defeats the purpose. Again, I want to grow this. I want to grow this channel. I want to grow this community. If I just keep everything private, this shit ain't going to grow. Everybody's going to be like, this is a secret society. But I just want to see. No, I'm not going to add that trend line. All right, so I don't see any questions. I think everybody's good so far. I'll make sure that I share this analysis in the Discord. Again, if you are not a part of our Discord, the link to it is in the description below. I do share signals. I do share my analysis, and I always keep you guys updated with any and all lives. I am going to be doing these lives, or I am doing these lives, Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I might have to change the information and the time setup that we do this on. But if you guys are enjoying and you get value off of these calls, go ahead, please, again, like this video before we end. I really want to impact people's lives in a positive manner. I want to find trade setups like this to give profits to everybody and really help everybody get to the next level in their trading career. So can I look at GJ? It's buying. GJ's buying. You have an inverted head and shoulders pattern. You hit a level of significant structure, resistance low, or support low rather. GJ's buying. Simple as that. Look at it, guys. This is what I mean. Like, if you saw that, you wouldn't even need to ask. Look at that. Look at GJ. You've answered your own question. GJ's a buy. Very simple. Your target market being the serious trader. Yeah, I just only want to target people who are serious. Like I'm not even trying to be disrespectful when I say this, but this is just something that I don't want to see. GBP analysis, or can you look at GJ? Like, tell me why. What is your actual question with it? Don't ask me Euro USD sell, Euro USD bear market. You can see it. You answer your own questions. I want to only attract serious traders, not people who just want entries, because this is going to literally help people become actual profitable traders. If I'm only going to get attract people buy sell now, I don't want those people. And that's not to sound disrespectful, but I have an objective. I want to help people who are serious. If they're not serious, then they can go join Lynn's stream. You know what I mean? If it closes above 59.80, is that an entry that we can take? You tell me. You tell me. If it closes above 59.800, you tell me. That's not how I trade. So I can't tell you if that's going to be a valid entry. If I would look for an entry, it would be in a completely different area. I'm not going to buy at a high point. Why would I buy something up here when it's already buying? That's what I don't understand. Like, you guys have to really take that into consideration. Buy low, you sell high. If you buy at 59.800, if it can close above. Like, this is the thing. This technically, where is it? I literally say, oh, here we go. This technically, even in the smallest aspect, that technically closes above structure. So if you went ahead and you were like, well, it broke above my price point, it's closed above, it's time to buy, you're wrong. Why would you buy at a high point when the market is clearly, at this point, a sell? Right? So don't see it that way. You have to take everything into consideration. But I think that GJ will continue to be a buy. That is my opinion. Why did most traders said looking at the candlesticks can make you the next market reaction? Because candlesticks at a level of price will dictate the next move. Because it breaks a resistance level at 59.750. So if you can see that 79, where you at? 795.750. That still has no relevance to trading or to an entry. You have to have a reasoning for entry. If you're just looking for a break above a price, or that's not. Do not. I'm telling you that right now. If you're like, well, if it breaks above that price point, no, absolutely fucking not. I'll give you this. The reason why you're not going to buy at the break of anything is because it's probably going to sell when it reaches here and correct back down to your buy zone. Look at the charts. Do your analysis. If you're just saying, oh, when it breaks above, it's time for a buy, fuck no. Because what happens? A market turns into a buy. It impulses higher. Then what you're going to do is you're going to buy right here. You're going to say, well, it broke above 800, whatever, wherever you're looking at, right? So you buy here. Let's say your targets are all the way up here. The market does that. Your stop loss, because you want a small stop loss. You want a great take profit. You want a 5 pip stop loss. So that way you have the most accurate trade for your $50 account to place a standard. No. Let's say you place your buy there. It reaches your structure level. Then this shit happens. Comes right back down. Let's say your stop loss is right there. Your stop loss is hit. You're like, oh shit. Oh man, I just lost a trade. And then this happens. What ended up being a losing trade or what was a losing trade ended up being profitable, right? Identify actual entry points. Don't try to say, well, if it breaks above this, it's a buy. No, there has to be a reasoning behind it. Full confluence, not just a break above or below a level of price. Keep that in mind. You're doing a great job. Please, what did you say the link is for Signal? I'm not going to answer that. I've said it mad times. Look at the description. Okay, sounds good. I see what you are saying. I appreciate it. No problem. JJ has to fill. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. This is probably going to be a good opportunity for me to get that myth out the way. Gaps do not have to close. And I don't think this is going to close. GJ right now is very bullish. If it wanted to close, it would have closed already. Gaps do not have to close. That is not a fact. That is not a for sure thing. There is gap trading strategies. Do gaps close? Absolutely. But does it mean that it has to? No, it does not. Gaps happen for 2 reasons. First reason is when there is a large order of or a large flow of orders and trades being placed at an entry point or at a specific point or price, and the broker itself or the platform itself cannot get all those orders in at once, and it kind of like freezes. And then as all that volatility comes into play, you see a spike up, you see that gap. That's just because the market is catching back up to that volatility. Same thing over the weekend. Why do gaps happen on Sundays, Jay? Because the broker is closed during the weekend. The market, money, is moved every single millisecond. There's millions of people spending money this very second. Do you think the money stops flowing during the weekend? No. The reason why the market gaps on Sunday is because the broker is catching back up to the fluctuation of price that has occurred during the weekend. So let's say, since we have a gap here, let's say during Friday, this was at price 123. I'm just going to keep it simple. This was at price 123. Brokers are closed. Market is closed. So obviously this is not going to move. It's going to stay just like that until when? Until Sunday market open. When it opens back up on Sunday, you're then going to see the difference in price that has happened during the weekend. Obviously, you're not going to see that. Why? Because brokers are closed. So gaps do not, I repeat, they do not have to, they don't have to fill. They don't have to close. It doesn't ever have to reach that point again, because that's not where the market was intending on going. Right now, the market is bullish. So the money is to the upside. So gaps do not have to close. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I know somebody's like, yo, that gap has to close, I'm selling. And watch that shit just continue to be this. So be very careful with that idea and that concept. Tell good entry. I did already. Not right off, but eventually it will. I mean, if let's say this market decides it wants to go bearish, let's say it comes bullish all the way up here, respects that structure and wants to continue, that's a PRZ and goes all the way down there. Of course, common sense, that's going to be filled, but that's just because the market ended up wanting to be bearish. It's not bearish because it wants to fill that gap. It wants to be bearish because that's the true intent. So again, get rid of that concept. Don't think that it always has to close, because what happens if this shit's all the way up here and you're like, oh, it's time to sell. It has to close that gap. No, it's probably selling because it wants to. So yeah, I don't think that gap will close anytime soon as of yet. How long have you been trading, and are you a consistent trader? Thanks. Yes, I am a consistent trader. I've been trading now for going on 9 years. I used to be the auto trader, educator, swipe trader, everything, the background of IML. I was the person who kind of started a lot of that shit in the first place. I've been featured on multiple podcasts and interviews. I've been able to take multiple, 6-figure withdrawals out during the years. So yeah, I'm pretty consistent. I'm not going to say I'm not a guru. I'm not the best trader in the world. I think that Q Banks, in my opinion, Q Banks and a lot of his friends are probably the best traders. And that's just, again, I don't know them. They don't even know me. I don't get paid for saying that. But in my opinion, those are the gurus. I'm just somebody who's following their footsteps. But yeah, been trading for a bit. Going on 9 years because my son will be 8 and I traded a year before he was born. So that's how I keep track of it. So sometime in July, it'll be 9 years. But yeah, seems like you guys are good. So what we'll do is, damn, we got a lot of people on. I appreciate every last one of you guys being on. I really do. If you guys were able to get some value, some knowledge, maybe even some profits here on our buy on gold, go ahead, please like this video. It definitely helps. It grows this community. As you guys can see, we have a lot more viewers and more every day that we do this, and this is to you guys. So I do appreciate it. So before we conclude, I'll leave this here for you guys. So excuse me, you guys can see that we have in fact placed a buy on gold. We are looking we are in small profits, nothing significant as of yet, but I'll make sure that I add this analysis in the Discord so everybody can take advantage. If you are not a part of the Discord, the link is in the description below. I've said it 50 times already, so if you haven't heard me while you were on, pay attention. It's really important. I'm not going to be here just say, oh, buy, sell here. I'm giving you education so you can make that decision yourself. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys, oh, we're buying this, we're selling that, we're buying. No, I'm giving you the clues. I'm giving you guys the information. I'm leading the dance, if you will. All you have to do is fill in the blanks. I give you guys the blueprint, you guys do the rest. This is the blueprint. How to find an accurate trade setup, how to identify an entry point, right? This is all the steps that I teach. If you come onto these calls and you say buy, sell, you should, and you do these sessions with me every day, you should already know what you're looking for. You shouldn't have to ask that question, especially if you just look. I think a lot of you guys just be like, you jump onto a call, you haven't even looked at a chart yet. You haven't even looked at GJ or gold, and you just want to know because you're on your MC4, like, should I buy and sell now? No, you can't go onto a chart. You can't expect to just say, oh, gold's a buy right now. There has to be reasonings behind it. Again, like on that GJ trade, I don't see why you would look for a buy at that point, right? I would look at buys at different areas. There has to be reasonings behind it. Look, pay attention, and you'll be profitable. Everyone, make sure you like the video. My man Scott, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. We have been, growing exponentially. Our lives, our Discord community as well. Again, I just want to make sure that we're growing off transparency and value. So with that being said, we'll conclude for today. If you guys have any questions throughout the day or throughout the week, feel free to hit me up on any platform. Best is probably going to be Facebook, and my Facebook is JMPips. So if you guys would like to get in contact with me, feel free to do so there. I'll make sure that I answer any and all questions to the best of my abilities and in a timely manner, so that way you guys aren't waiting forever. Because I know some people hit me up and be like, yo, you took 2 days to hit me up. I still right now have like 300 unread Facebook messages. So I try to get to everybody as fast as I can. So with that being said, guys, again, I highly appreciate you all. You guys are amazing. Again, if you could like the video, that helps dramatically. I will be back on first thing tomorrow morning, seeing if there's any other trade setups, any questions that you guys may have as well, and then go from there. So if you guys have any questions, you can also ask in the Discord. A lot of my students there are extreme seasoned veterans. They have a ton of knowledge, and they'll be able to help and assist as well. I want to see you guys in the Discord exchanging charts. Even if you guys want to share your trades, your signals with everybody, that's perfectly fine. This community is all about money. It's all about profits. It's all about growing and learning how to trade. So if that's something you guys want, join the community, be active in the community, talk amongst yourselves, share charts, share signals, do whatever. As long as you guys are respectful to each other and gaining a lot of information, that's what I want to see. So thank you guys. Have an amazing day. Again, if there's anything else you guys need, feel free to hit me up. Legacy students, I'll be trading binary for you guys, so that way your binary auto traders are working and making some profits. Again, last week, not a great week, but I'll go ahead and correct that during this week and then some. I'm always going to be transparent. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, we had a great week when we didn't for binary, so I'll make sure that I correct that so we are remaining profitable at all times. John Summers, thank you. I appreciate you, Scott. I appreciate you, HD, Dr. Sean Carter, The Daily Cloud, Fahad, I don't even know how to say that name, Ezekiel, Flex Gaming, Jose, Tough, everybody, every last one of you guys, Donald, everybody. If you guys have been on these calls, if you guys are learning, I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for being on. I'll see you guys on the next one. Again, if you need anything, feel free to let me know. I'll see you guys. Thanks, guys. Really, really appreciate you.